Hello, good morning. Welcome back to the fish locker out on the boat. Look at that. I don't know if you can see the dolphins there at the back of us. The sun's just coming up and we've got a big pod of dolphins just working just in here. What they're doing is they're corralling all the fish up to the surface. There they are. I'm going to go and see if we can find some bait. Then we'll go. They're always lovely to see, aren't they? Always brightens your day to see dolphins. And that there, right on the bottom, that's feed. That's little pilchards or something. So let's see if we can't find some. That's what's down there, little pilchards. Get another half a dozen of them, we'll be doing alright. I'm just using little tiny sabikis, like size 12 sabikis. Doesn't feel like a pilchard. It's because it's a mackerel. Yeah, I'm happy with them. Tell straight away, it's a different fight. Pilchards is only a really fine one. Mackerel swirl around quite a bit. Brilliant. Not a bad morning, is it? We have had an incredible amount of rain over the past couple of weeks, and currently, I don't know how far you can see to the shore. I am 4 miles offshore, and that is the colour of the water. So it's not always crystal clear in Cornwall. Now we've got an awful lot of freshening. The water is a greeny tinge of brown, so I think we're going to have to go some distance to try and find some decent water. Just stopped off at a wreck because we're on slack tide, and I'm just going to drop a slow jig down for a couple of minutes. I did get a couple of plucks on a slow jig, so there are fish down there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try a wrecking jig. So very simply, all it is, 2-hook scratching rig, and I baited it with some of the fresh mackerel, and you just bounce it down along the wreck, hoping for things like ling. Currently in 245 feet of water. Ling give quite an aggressive bite, so you will see it. Snaggy bit of wreck that. Probably just a little one chasing it. That's my bait away. I've had a couple of drifts over that wreck and I know there's some fish there. I've still got a little bit of tide out here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and put the anchor down for an hour or so. Now I'm using a 5 kilo plough anchor rigged with a weak link so it can trip out if it ever gets stuck. I've got 20 feet of chain, and then on my rope I've got a buoy and an Alderney ring. That's used for hauling the anchor. I am in 240 feet of water, so I'm expecting to put out about 500 feet of rope. Let's get the anchor down. Missed it. Missed the bite. Missed the bite and the fish is taking me in the wreck. Turn round to put the camera on. The fish has found the wreck. Oh well. Tide's starting to pick up now, so we're going to swing off this wreck. Might have to go and re-anchor. See the bite? Slack water. We've drifted, we're now probably about 200 feet away from the wreck. There's no point re-anchoring yet, just because the tide hasn't even picked up enough to be able to swing us off properly. We'll bang on slack water now. What did I say? Dogfish. A slack water dogfish. I think we'll have the anchor up and we'll go somewhere else for a while. Maybe come back here when the tide's changed. The time in between the tide flooding and the tide ebbing, there is no tide at all, so you're just the tiniest breath of wind will swing you around, like has happened now. We're just moving around. As soon as the tide starts running in a certain direction again, we'll line up again. That's the time to put your anchor back down. When the anchor starts, when the buoy starts burying under the water, you know it's reached the anchor. I've come to a different mark inshore. Because the tide runs differently offshore to inshore, the tide's already running in here. So I've set myself up on a little bit of sandbank. I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to catch a little bit more bait. And maybe while the tide still picks up, I might be able to catch a couple of nice whiting or a codling. That's the plan. It's always good to have a couple of different plans. Yeah, some nice whiting would be good. That will do. That's a cracking size eating whiting. Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, a couple of cracking fillets off that guy. He's a real chunk. Just like that. One of the great things about whiting, they don't mess about. they give a good bite. We've got a whiting pecking at this one here. The rod on the right hand side. I've put a 2 down rig on there, so there are 2 hooks. So if there are a couple of whiting down there, we might catch 2. So I'll give that 10 seconds, but aye, just keep an eye on that rod. This is oversized gear for whiting, but this is my wrecking gear that I've got with me. You'll have to excuse the local merlins. That one's a little small. Down you go. Yeah, we're after the big ones. Unfortunately, you've just got to fish through the small ones to get to the big ones. There's a bite, look straight away on there. Oh no! Huh. Come to the sand and you catch eels. That wasn't expected. Hopefully I'll be able to show you with this. See how the hook's just in the corner of its mouth there? What you need to do, try to get that bait out of the way so you can see. If you get a T-bar onto the hook, calm down, like that, all you do is you turn the hook like that and then use the fish's own weight to pop it off the hook. So the hook was in the fish like that. All you do is you use the T-bar to turn the hook and pop it off. Yeah, I wasn't expecting a little conger. Yeah, look, just a very simple 2 down rig, and all I've done is I've baited them with little slithers of mackerel. Whiting will eat pretty much anything, but they like mackerel. There's another one. Big enough for a fillet. Simply, all it is, that's a 3/0 with a little slither of mackerel. Absolutely simple. Doesn't need to be complicated. In fact, you'll find that most of my fishing is very simple. Just like me. Keep getting a bite on this one here. There's a bite. Kind of expected this to stop. When they come in on the scent, not much you can do. When there's this many fish on the bottom, there's one there. When there's this many fish down there and you're constantly getting bites, if the bites stop, it's generally a good sign that you've got no bait left. Slightly too small. They're very well fed. They're all absolutely stuffed. There's a bite. See him? See, you can't miss that one. Another cheeky strap. They are everywhere this year, these little ones. Where's my tea bar? Everywhere this year, them. It's a good sign for things to come. Wouldn't mind meeting him in 10 years' time when he's £100. What I've got is I've got some squid that I've had. Oh, I've had it months. Take it out, defrost it, put it back in the freezer. Take it out on sessions, and if I don't use it all, I just stick it straight back in the freezer. And it's minging and it's pink. It's like when people say, oh, you won't catch anything on that. Fish don't care how old it is. Fish don't care how stinky it is. People have asked me before when they've gone, oh, do you not peel the skin off? I was like, well, fish don't peel the skin off. Half an hour more. Now that is the size that we're after. That is a proper size whiting. See, taking on some of that old manky squid. Get him dispatched. Doing alright, that. Everything I've been catching today has been spitting up little sandales. There's the dolphins just at back at boat. There you go. We're after bigger ones. That's enough of that. Let's go and try that wreck again. Ooh, I'm right in the snaggy stuff. Might even shorten that rope up a little bit. Shorten that rope up by 10 feet. Right, well, the anchor's in, sat back on the wreck. The wreck just stretches out there behind me. I've got a running ledger out here. I've got a little scratching bait just there on the upright rod. So far, just little pecking bites, just little pouching bites. Just don't seem to be wanting to get another feed. Just don't seem to be on the feed. There is an awful lot of bait fish around at the minute. It could just be that they're all absolutely gorged up. Don't know, it's one of them things, isn't it? We will stick it out here for a while. We've got plenty of time for the flood. We will just see where it goes. Same right down under the boat. Incredible, aren't they? Just missed a very big fish there. With the waves, with the swell, I got a bite as I was in a trough, so when I lifted, couldn't lift into the fish and it dropped it. Luckily enough, I just dropped straight back down and it must have still been waiting there. It's a daddy ling. This is an absolute monster ling. I'm going to need a glove on to get this out. Whoa, I tell you what, that was worth the effort. I'm glad I stuck at it. Right, this is why detachable rigs, that's why I always use them. Oh, there's the rig, look. Just a one hook wrecking rig, baited with a mackerel flapper. There's a hook. That is a very good 20-pound fish. Yeah, definitely ball best of 20 pound. Worth that bit of extra effort, just that little bit extra time. Oh. We were swinging around and we weren't on the right part of the wreck. We were swinging around and we weren't on the right part of the wreck. So I've re-anchored and I've been in this new spot maybe about 10 minutes. Just a different section of the wreck. Let's get him dispatched. I'll get a photo of him. But yeah, brilliant! Just stuck it out. Right, I've dispatched this ling. You can see now how the colours all dropped straight out of it. As soon as you dispatch them and bleed them, you can see when I brought it up it was dark brown, it's dropped the colour straight out of it. Oh. I put that about between 22 and 24 pound. real good stocky fish. And we have some fantastic eating size whiting. Perfect. That was I don't know if there's a difference between stubbornness and perseverance. I knew there was a fish there. I knew there had to be a fish on this wreck. I felt one earlier on when I missed it when we were drifting on the wreck, and we just weren't sat right. We sat on it, and when you bounce your lead on the bottom, if it feels soft, it feels like a soft thud, you're on sand. If it feels hard, like a hard bang, you know you're on wreck. We weren't quite on the wreck, we were just off the side of it. So I went to all the trouble of bringing all the lines in, hauling the anchor again, pulling in 500 feet of rope, re-anchoring. I only re-anchored 50 feet away from where I originally anchored. So as we were back, 10 minutes, bang, straight into the fish. Perfect. I can go home now. Yeah, amazing. We're going to try and get some catch and cooks out with these fish, so they'll be coming up soon. I hope you've enjoyed joining me. All the very best. Take it easy. There you go. Home time.